going on, everybody? This is DK Dynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the final round-based map in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, its release date, and even a possible secret map that Treyarch may want us to know about. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and also as a reminder, I'll be playing with every single one of you guys out there that sends me proof using code DYNAMITE over at GamerAdvantage.com. The link is, of course, down below in the description, and it really means the world to me. But also apologies if I sound a little bit different in this commentary. My allergies have been absolutely horrible while I'm moving boxes and preparing to move into a new home. So I'm not sick, but I do sound a little under the weather here for this video. Hope you guys understand. Double XP is also now live and exclusively Black Ops Cold War multiplayer and zombies, not Warzone this weekend. So take advantage of that while you guys can if you haven't hit Master Prestige for Season 5 just yet. I also want to make a quick comment that I do believe that this Dark Aether Weaver skin was made for a reason. I refuse to believe that it was just made for a cool looking bundle. Maybe it'll have some relevance in DLC 4 where we go into the Dark Aether and have to wear this type of special suit to survive in there long enough. Let me know how you feel about that skin down below in the comments, and enjoy some beautiful Outbreak gameplay there in the background. Now, yesterday we got the surprise reveal of Season 5 Reloaded, featuring a roadmap, a blog post, and a bunch of bonus content for zombies, which threw us all off guard. I wasn't expecting a big announcement like that on a Thursday. I think it's a world's first for Treyarch to announce a bunch of DLC on a Thursday like that. In case you guys missed my full breakdown, I'll have that video linked down below in the description for everything coming in the mid-season updates. But for zombies specifically, we have more Outbreak content that makes any review that was made on the mode back in February literally false, right? There is so much goddamn content over an Outbreak now that'll be even more of a night and day difference once all is said and done after Season 6 updates. I think a fair review of Outbreak should be done after Season 6 Reloaded, when all regions are released, side quest, main quest, you know, other secrets. That's when it makes the most sense. But comparing it to its bare bones state from February is crazy to look at. I mean, let me know how you're feeling about that down below in the comments. We're also getting the Rampage Inducer, something everybody I think honestly wanted for round-based zombies maps, which allows you to, with the team support, crank up difficulty to extremely difficult with super sprinters until at least round 20. And it's a feature that I think is good for people out there who want to just hop into a zombies match and don't want to go through a bunch of slow setup rounds between round 1 to 20. So it's a cool feature dropping. On top of Armada for Outbreak as a brand new region, Treyarch seems to be done with the Ural Mountains for both Fireteam and Zombies. So it looks like now they're going to start adding in some combined arms maps into the zombies experience. And Armada is a unique one considering it's not even in Onslaught. There is a way to play Armada Onslaught in local, but it's currently bugged and gives you instant death barriers. So probably not intentional for you to play that, but at least it's coming to Outbreak nonetheless. We also have a sneak peek at upcoming zombies content over from Treyarch's Instagram, as I pointed out yesterday. In case you guys missed this, there is usually an alternative style of marketing added to Instagram versus their Twitter or Call of Duty blog. And to me, that's interesting because people out there don't really use Instagram that much. I mean, I don't really use it anymore. You guys probably don't either. But typically, they do release some behind-the-scenes little snippets of gameplay that you guys may have missed. And we do have a quick glimpse at Armada and the new zombies content for Season 5 Reloaded. Gameplay already does exist for both Crossroads and Miami Outbreak. It's unclear if those two regions are guaranteed to release in the next season. Maybe Season 6 will launch with a map like, let's say, Crossroads for Outbreak, then Season 6 Reloaded will launch with the map of Miami. I mean, I don't really care too much about our Miami Outbreak region. I think it's already fine in Onslaught and multiplayer, but the more the merrier, right? Add in as many combined arms maps as they want, and I'll definitely be grinding that. So I guess you can speculate right now 2 more regions may be coming before the end of this game's life cycle, at least over into Outbreak. So Outbreak's gonna be stacked. I almost feel like you would need a separate playlist between Ural Mountains maps and then combined arms maps that are in the mode. But you know what? I think this is better for longevity if you guys go for high rounds or get bored of repeating the same maps and objectives over and over again. But quick comments about the new Outbreak Survival LTM. That isn't going to be dropping until September the 21st, which is when the Numbers event releases, so a couple of weeks away from now. And they call it an LTM, but it may end up being a situation like Onslaught Containment, where it's so damn successful, so damn popular, well received, that they end up keeping it in the game permanently, at least for private games, not even public playlists. So let's see how that mode works out. I mean, right now it sounds like the name of the mode just suits it, right? Survival. It is going to be a mode that's centered all around survivability and finding new ways to survive some of the harder regions. In Outbreak, which kind of incorporates features from a real-world type zombies apocalypse, or like Days Gone, where you're relying on supplies and food to stay alive, and there's no way to incorporate auto health regen in a quote-unquote real-world zombies apocalypse, right? Once you're dead, you're dead. So I'm looking forward to this. It'll give us an opportunity to also utilize other mechanics and features in zombies right now that we typically wouldn't use in round-based or Outbreak, like healing aura, or other perks and whatnot that you usually just wouldn't run in a normal casual game of zombies. So I'm looking forward to how this works out. And the same people that I've seen complaining about the Outbreak main quests, saying they're pointless and they were a waste of dev time, are now coming out and saying that, you know, it's unfortunate there isn't going to be another Outbreak main quest in this season, and we're only going to be getting LTMs and, you know, world events and a new region to Outbreak. It's funny to see that complaint because a couple of months ago, when the new main quest released for Outbreak, people were saying, oh, this is a waste of time, right? Give us more round-based maps. So the flip-flops and the hypocrisy with the Zombies community is laughable at this point. But leave all your thoughts in the comments about Outbreak Survival. Will you be giving it a shot? Are you excited for it? And do you think it'll stay permanently in the game after the game's life cycle is over? We also got a very easy confirmation that there isn't going to be a main quest 3 over an Outbreak unless there is a surprise where Season 6 opens with one and then Season 6 Reloaded gives us the final round-based map. I would say it's a bit unlikely, right? Treyarch has a lot on their plate right now with developing the final round-based map for this game and then jumping right onto heavy Vanguard Zombies development so that that map hopefully releases on time on November the 5th when the full game does. So I don't think Treyarch has too much time. I mean, they have a big studio and whatnot, but I don't think they have enough time to go ahead and polish yet another Outbreak main quest, which could be riddled with bugs if not tested properly. So Treyarch also confirmed that we are going to be getting intel in Season 5 Reloaded with that eye emoji, which probably gives us a hint that we're going to know exactly where we're going in DLC 4 once the intel does release. Could even get an official confirmation through intel that Eddie is the director. We already know that by now, at least if you're a hardcore Zombies fanatic and have been paying attention to the intel. We already know that, but they might just give some answers away to us in the upcoming intel that releases next week. I'm looking forward to it because right now, this is the first time in Treyarch Zombies history I can remember where we have absolutely no idea where we are going in the final round-based map for that game season. Either in the past, we've heard about it through rumors, leaks, or some actual in-game intel that gives the answer away pretty easily. But as Treyarch themselves wrote, Zombies players will get access to the new Rampage, Inducer, and round-based maps to immediately turn up the action to epic levels, and in Outbreak, we're delivering the new Armada region and Black Chest world event, as well as new narrative intel to set the stage for the finale of Black Ops Cold War Zombies in the next season's round-based map. We'll also have a new event challenge for Zombies, that after K3 updates, and a new Diminishing Light LTM, as well as Drive-In for Onslaught if you're on PlayStation, on top of some new intel also being added to that. So, first off, what would you guys rather have, right? Maybe them add in one more additional round-based map alongside DLC 4 to bring our total map count to around 5 or more, and then go away for 3 years until COD 2023 comes out? Or would you rather have it to where Treyarch puts out one less round-based map in Cold War's life cycle, cranks up Outbreak and Onslaught to the max, and then comes back a couple of months later with Vanguard Zombies, a whole new season of Zombies maps from the same studio? I think we're in the best timeline right now in terms of Zombies content. You can disagree respectfully down below in the comments, but I think right now, everything they're doing definitely makes a lot of sense. But as you guys heard, it is the finale of Black Ops Cold War Zombies coming up in the next season's round-based map. So, Season 6 of course, but let's analyze that a little bit. So Season 6, as of right now, according to the Battle Pass, starts on October the 6th. I'm like, alright, that's not too far away from now, but there's a new rumor that surfaced by some gaming scoopers and insiders that apparently Season 6 Reloaded of Black Ops Cold War launches the day before the official launch of Call of Duty Vanguard. So I'm like, wait a second now, this kind of changes the conversation about Zombies at least, right? Because maybe this means DLC 4 is guaranteed to drop at the beginning of Season 6, because if it doesn't, then unless they drop it randomly throughout the middle of the season, then would it really work to drop DLC 4 during Season 6 Reloaded, and then the next day Call of Duty Vanguard comes out with another Zombies map? I see that being very unlikely for Activision to say, alright, let's kind of blow our load with 2 zombie maps in the same week. I think they're going to space things out quite a bit, unless there's a possibility, and this is just a theory, right? A game theory, that is. Unless what they do here is they release the final round-based Zombies map during Season 6 Reloaded, November the 4th, then Vanguard comes out a day later without a Zombies map, and maybe what they do is release the first round-based Zombies map for Vanguard when Season 1 releases on November the 23rd. Maybe that's what they're planning on doing, but I already see some heavy community backlash if they end up launching Vanguard without a Zombies map and they make you wait a couple of weeks before the first one drops. It's going to be insane. I mean, as of right now, it's unclear how Treyarch's workload is. I mean, I'm assuming that it is fairly busy where they're balancing DLC 4 and the final content updates for Cold War, Vanguard Zombies, then some small development for their next Call of Duty 2 years from now. Now, it was also confirmed that Vanguard Zombies marketing does begin near Halloween, the new Hallows Eve event launching in Cold War and Warzone. So if that's the case, then they probably would want to release DLC 4 for Cold War before the heavy marketing begins of Vanguard Zombies. I mean, realistically, does it really matter? We're going to be hyped regardless, and we'll take, you know, as much marketing as possible all at once. So I guess it doesn't really matter, but realistically, I could see DLC 4 coming out, being in the spotlight for at least a week or two, and then once the Halloween event begins, they'll start talking about Vanguard Zombies so that a map could release with the launch of Vanguard a couple of weeks after that on November the 5th. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, but let me know in the comments, what do you guys think makes the most sense? Will DLC 4 release at the beginning, or at least somewhat close to the middle of Season 6 and not Reloaded, or will it be my previous theory, which is that they'll end up launching DLC 4 as late as possible in, what, the first week of November, and then save the first Vanguard Zombies map for sometime after that in Season 1. Totally plausible. I mean, again, never say never to anything with the Call of Duty franchise. Sometimes they blow our minds with new strategies they try every single year with the content schedule. But what I'll also point out is that Drive-In is a very interesting case of content that you would think is being saved for Reloaded, but just wasn't. So Season 5 opened up with quite a bit of content across all game modes, but then for some reason, within just 2 weeks of the season starting, they already dropped a brand new map into multiplayer, which was Drive-In. Now we have Zoo left for Season 5 Reloaded, but what if Zombies is handled like that for Season 6, where the season starts off very strong, and then a week or two after the start of the season, they drop a majority of the rest of the content, then Reloaded brings us a little bit of other spicy content the day before Vanguard drops. I mean, that's of course if the rumor is true about when Reloaded is coming out. I'm gonna assume that it is if it's coming from some reliable gaming scoopers. But then it begs the question, right? How big can Season 6 Reloaded even be if it's the day before Vanguard? I mean, how much will they end up investing in and then dropping when they know that a day after that, a new Call of Duty is going to be out? So a lot of questions with that, but we'll talk more about that in a future video, of course. In terms of what we know right now about DLC 4, the final round-based map, we already mentioned this many times ago, but a lot of rumors out there have circulated about the map being codenamed Giant. And I'm just going to say right now, that's probably referring to some type of giant monster or giant boss fight we're going to have in the map, unless the map is massive and that's where that name comes from. Very likely not a remake of Der Riese. That would be strange. I'm not sure how they would make that work for Cold War, but again, never say never. We do have audio, which I found very interesting about the Great War. Take a listen.
You know we're on the brink of war, Elizabeth. A great war.
So it's funny because I made a video all about this topic before Cold War Zombies even came out. And in that video, I essentially talk about the fact that the Great War was wrapped up somewhat in Black Ops 4, not to anybody's expectations that I understand right now, but what that means, at least for Cold War, is that Craig might say, you know what, they wanted a certain type of Great War in that game, we couldn't pull that off, so let's give that a bit of a spin for this new Dark Aether storyline. So maybe we might end up getting a new type of Great War, either in DLC 4 or something that's being set up for Treyarch's next full title in 2023. I think New Great War definitely is going to happen, and if Samantha herself has said that it's going to happen, then I'm sure that means something, right? That quote definitely bears some weight. Maybe the Giants map codename is referring to the Forsaken, who essentially is the first one that was teased all the way back in Die Maschine. It's being speculated that's still going to be Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man combined from the old Aether storyline, since that's what they were referred to anyway. But as of right now, some of the biggest story experts are saying that the evidence isn't there for the Forsaken one to be Monty and the Shadow Man combined. It would be great if that was the case, to just wrap up a bit of a loose end that people out there might want to know more about after the ending of Tag Their Toe In. But at the same time, Craig might not want anything to do with the confusing storyline and plot points that people have left behind already after Black Ops 4. Now, what's also very interesting, which you guys may have forgotten about, is that it was rumored by a gaming insider, the Ghost of Hope, that a map apparently got scrapped for the Cold War Zombies season and was being saved for Call of Duty Vanguard. That was even before we knew that Treyarch was taking charge of Vanguard Zombies. But when the rumor first came out, it was somewhat debunked by insider Tom Henderson, who went ahead and said that there would be one more round-based map after Mauer Towen, releasing at some point in late September, and that was probably a little bit off. We know October is the actual target date for that map. So when he said that, we're like, all right, maybe that rumor wasn't true then. We are getting at least one map after Mauer Toten. But what if there was actually another map for Cold War that actually hasn't come out, and that's why they had to relabel Outbreak as DLC 2? So what I think happened here is the following, right? There was a map set in between Firebase and Mauer Toten that got scrapped or somewhat put on hold because it served a better purpose for Vanguard Zombies once Treyarch found out that Activision was putting them in charge of the next game's iteration of Zombies. So that could explain why there was such a big gap in between Firebase and Mauer Toten in February all the way to July, even though we had the quote-unquote DLC 2 Outbreak in between with 2 main quests. That was still fantastic content, but it made us wonder, what could the life cycle have been like if we got at least just one more round-based map, maybe in March or April? I think that would have helped Zombies community a little bit more. And that probably was the case. I'm going to say right now, that probably was going going to be the case before Activision put him in charge of Vanguard. So aside from the Outbreak DLC 2 issue, which I pointed out on the podcast earlier this afternoon, the thing is, right, DLC 1 and 2 for this game released weeks apart from one another. We had Firebase Z, which was the first week of February, and Outbreak the last week of February, so it's a bit strange, right? I guess the term DLC and a number is a bit of an outdated form of what Zombies content is now, but it's still being used because it's easier to organize marketing a new Zombies map on YouTube with the search results. So looking at what DLC 2 may have actually been, we got a hint as to what that actually could be over on the map Echelon. So recently, during Echelon Onslaughts, intel was found referring to the Devil's Playground, an apparent secret Nazi facility located somewhere there by the mountains. And it also kind of ties into the fact that there are some runes, ancient artifacts, and a secret language that is being set up here, which you can also get a glimpse of in the official Vanguard Zombies logo. So maybe DLC 2 for Cold War was originally going to be this secret Nazi facility, but at the same time, is that a bit too similar to Die Maschine and Firebase already, with kind of a basic, you know, Nazi facility, or, you know, a facility set somewhere dealing with Omega? Would have been a bit too similar, maybe. I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now. So they said, you know what, this may serve Vanguard Zombies quite a bit better, where we'll open up the game with this map, make it a hell of a lot more interesting than it would have been as DLC 2 for this game, and we'll go from there. So either that's what's being set up here, or this secret Nazi facility has something to do with DLC 4. I don't think that is the case, though. I mean, you can disagree with me in the comments, but I think DLC 4 is more than likely going to be something on a bit more of an epic scale, whether it's the Dark Ether itself, or some massive environment featuring this great war. I mean, I'm having my expectations capped off at a reasonable level to where I'm not expecting something too crazy. While Treyarch's still working from home, dealing with, you know, pandemic circumstances, I'm still expecting a solid map to wrap up the game's life cycle, but nothing too crazy that is unfair for Treyarch to accomplish in a short amount of time. Now, without a doubt, more intel that's released will give us the answers we're looking for in regards to both DLC 4 and then the beginning of Vanguard Zombies. We've already gotten a glimpse of what seems like foundation being set for Treyarch's Vanguard Zombie story, dealing with a whole other plot point that may have happened during the 40s, so I expect more of that to be released during Season 6 as well. Now, in regards to the fake Spusk Stally DLC 4 rumor that surfaced many months ago now, it's one of those rumors that already technically got debunked, I think, shortly after that blog post came out. I mean, the only thing I got right, really, was that Firebase Z was based out of a village from the campaign, and the fact that DLC 3 was called Mauder Toten, Wall of the Dead, a very easy map name guess. But Spusk Stally stands for Descent of Steel. It's a weird sounding name that I'm like 99.9% sure is not the name of DLC 4. They also mentioned Eddie Redpool, which isn't actually a character. They were just speculating that a character named Redpool in the intel was going to be Eddie, but that was quickly debunked as well when Redpool ended up dying and his real name was revealed, and it wasn't Eddie. We know Eddie is the director now, but it says the third and final map, and again, that doesn't even make sense because this is going to be the fourth round-based map, is unlike any Zombies map ever released. Stally is rumored to be set inside a glacier located at the summit of a mountain and will be completely vertical, containing an abandoned Russian facility alongside an intricate network of caverns and caves containing ruins and artifacts. Players will move around the map using portals, and it's ironic because let's talk about ruins and artifacts, and we kind of get that vibe from the Vanguard Zombies logo, so it would be cool if DLC 4 kind of puts us somewhere, and then we learn in the map that there was a lot of backstory with that location that we're not going to learn more about until the Vanguard Zombies iteration, which is a prequel to Black Ops Cold War. So that's ironic. Also talking about, you know, a cave and, you know, an intricate network of caverns, portals, being near a mountain. I guess it's somewhat plausible to think about that, but I think what also begs the question is whether or not DLC 4 will end up using any campaign mission from Black Ops Cold War and reusing those assets for the layout of a new Zombies map, similar to how Firebase does it, Mauder Toten does it. So I'm curious if this last round-based map will do the same thing, where it kind of reutilizes something that we already saw in campaign. But regardless, who cares? Because Zombies is built upon that concept anyway. We're using assets, repurposing them for a whole new story, which is still canon to the campaign anyway. But yeah, it's getting frustrating to see people out there still talk about this Spusk Stally rumor and claim it as fact, when a majority of that blog post is already debunked fairly quickly, and we should be moving on from that information by now. But in the case that that ends up being real, at least talked about it here today. At least you guys are aware of what is out there right now. But that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on DLC 4 being the finale of Black Ops Cold War Zombies? Does that confirm that a Zombies Chronicles 2 is just not going to happen? I know what I've said before is that it doesn't really make sense for this game, so I'd assume that if that ever is going to exist, it'll be something that's repurposed for a future Treyarch experience. Definitely not Vanguard, but That was, of course, better suited for Black Ops 4. Also, what are your thoughts on the secret map being hinted at over on Echelon, and also the release date for the final map itself? Does it make sense to be as late as Halloween, the day before Vanguard? Let me know your thoughts down below. I really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.